Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I am so excited to be talking about Real Housewives of Miami, Season 2, Episode 1, A Tale of Two Miamis. You guys, this is like when Miami really brought the drama, because remember we added Joanna, we added Karent, we added Lisa, and Anna, and fantastic season. So I can't wait to talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's break down all the drama going on Real Housewives of Miami. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives of New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. Okay, so the first scene we have here, we got Marisol and Mama Elsa going into a jewelry store. And these episodes, I've already watched 2 this season, and I forgot how funny Mama Elsa is. Some really funny stuff comes up, and she's just got a wicked sense of humor that I really enjoy. They are talking about Marisol's wedding anniversary coming up. And she says, too bad I don't have anything to point out and ask for. But then, oh man, this sucks. We find out that Marisol and Felipe have separated. That he just moved out a few months ago. And, so depressing to hear. I hate that for her. They just got married. I knew that it happened, but it made me sad for her because I really wanted it to work. I like Marisol, and I hate that they split. Elsa says she will meet a lot of new people with a lot of new drama, and you'll be surprised what destiny has in store for her. Then we get to meet Anna. Anna? She is Cuban. She loves to cook. We find out she and her husband Robert have 2 children. She's an attorney, but in the last couple years, she's developed this passion for cooking. Okay. So then she explains, that they're a modern family. They've actually been separated for 2 years, but they're still very close. He comes by the house all the time. They have 2 daughters who are, I believe, in their 20s, and they wanted to have, she's saying that she had wanted to have it all, but it's more difficult than she expected it to be, and I will say, I don't know why, but I find Robert attractive. He's kind of dorky, but he's kind of cute. I think Anna is gorgeous. I just think she's stunning. And her food looks delicious. And we saw her on the first season actually cooking, I believe, at Alexia's. Maybe it was Alexia's. She's cooking at one of the houses there. But anyway, this family makes a lot of sex jokes. And whatever, make sex jokes. It doesn't bother me. But it's kind of weird how vulgar they were being in front of each other and on TV. I thought that's kind of strange. Okay, she says she's reinventing herself, getting divorced, starting a new relationship. So we'll see how that goes. We got Marisol. This part really cracked me up. Talking to Elsa on the phone. Okay, and they're trying to find Napoleon, Elsa's little dog. And Marisol's like, don't worry, Mom, we'll help you. We'll hang up signs with your phone number. We'll find him. And Mom keeps saying, oh no, the perverts are going to call. She doesn't want the perverts calling her. Marisol says she doesn't mind putting her phone number on the flyer because she doesn't mind talking to perverts. I just love that scene. I love their sense of humor. It really cracked me up. So Anna goes in and hugs Marisol. Turns out they've known each other for a very long time. So they're hanging out at Marisol's office. And I enjoy their friendship. Okay, now. Changing gears. Let's go over to Karent. I'm probably not even saying her name right, but it's Karent. She's Colombian. She competed in beauty pageants. I'm saying that very sarcastically, not against people who've been in beauty pageants, but I just can't handle people like this that are so fakey. It makes me want to bang my head against the wall. She introduces herself as Dr. Karent Sierra. Doesn't that sound like a porn star name? Okay. She's dentist to the stars. She goes to do a root canal, but also it's so fakey and set up that the patient asks about her red carpet appearance. She's like, oh, I'm so shocked you saw that, and pulls out her phone shows pictures of herself on the red carpet. Just kind of, I want to like Karent. I'm sure she's a nice person. To me, all I feel off of her is almost like a desperation and insecurity, especially in regards to her boyfriend, Rodolfo. We'll get into that. But everything she's doing is just, it reads fakey to me. The smile is fakey. I think that's even something they address in the next episode as they talk about her fake smile. And it just, she's beautiful. I'm not talking about her looks. She just comes across as too much. Like if this were my dentist, I think I'd be like, whoa, you know. She's one that will talk to you with all her tools in your mouth where you're like, trying to talk back. Okay, so this is where we learn about Rodolfo. Rodolfo is a very good-looking guy. He's a Latin soap star. And she says he's every woman's dream, including hers. And, okay, he's good-looking, but he's so, what's the word, like slimy. Because we find out, okay, Karent brings up Anna. She says she hasn't met her yet, but she hears that she's always flirting with Rodolfo. So there's already some drama right there. So we find out her parents live with her in her home. They say it's customary in Hispanic culture, and it's common that they'll live with you until marriage. So they already do not seem to like Rodolfo. That sounds like that's more coming for the season. But he's making jokes in front of them that were very strange that they just didn't seem that into. Okay, we go over to Lea. Lea got a haircut this season. I think Lea looks great. Lea is a beautiful woman. I do like her haircut. I don't understand ever how she dresses. I don't understand her glasses. I don't understand a lot of stuff. But, you know, she has her own style, so that's cool. Wish I had her bank account. Okay, so she's explaining when the market crashed, prime real estate became way more affordable. So she and Roy, her husband, bought some real estate as an investment. So this is where we start to hear about this Star Island. At least I'd never heard of it, and I'm from Florida. I'm from Jacksonville, though, so I'm more north, but still. Star Island is supposedly the most exclusive place to live in all of Miami. And she keeps name-dropping Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell lives there. So they're standing outside this gate, right? And she's like, I can't wait to see who my new neighbor's going to be. Well, we already know it's Lisa, which we're going to meet, and her husband. Right there, Lisa. They bought that place. So back to Lea real quick. So she bought that house as an investment property. She's not sure what she's going to do with it. She didn't realize how much work it needed. So she's either going to fix it up and maybe move over there, or she wasn't sure. So, okay, so she wants to find out who lives at the house. Well, this is how we meet Lisa. Lisa's talking about how blessed her life is. And there's part of me that wants to hate Lisa, and believe me, I change a lot. I remember this with these women. There's times that I can't with Lea, and there's times I love Lea. There's times I can't with Lisa, and there's times I love Lisa. Same with Joanna. I pretty much never like Karent, but anyway. But right now I like Lisa, and she is saying that other people would describe her as spoiled. So she's married to Lenny. Lenny is I guess he does the most boob jobs in the whole country from one surgeon. They call him the boob god. And they first met in Vegas, and she tells the story that he noticed her ass first and then saw her face and said, thank God, because her face matched her ass. Wow. Okay. Humble brag, blatant brag, not sure. So she's saying she's a walking business card for Lenny, and they are buying that house on Star Island. It just closed. Super excited. Then we meet Daisy. She calls her maid. I don't know that I love that word. Her assistant, whatever. Okay. They have decided to gift her surgery because she's separated and she really wants a breast lift, some lipo, and a tummy tuck. So they are training to get in shape to make all that a possibility. We find out Daisy's a recovering alcoholic, and to which Lisa says, in Miami, who isn't? Okay, then we go over to Joanna Krupa. It's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Model, very well known. I had heard of her before the show. Fantastic. Okay. This girl brings some drama to the show. That's what I remember about her. And there's times where she bugs me too, believe me. But she's funny. I enjoy her right off the bat. So Marta is her sister. She's been modeling for over 10 years. Very proud of her accomplishments. Says she has a very strong personality. She's a huge animal activist with PETA. Says she was put on this earth to spread awareness. And so her younger sister Marta is 26, trying to figure out what she wants in her life. And her fiance is, I believe they pronounce it Romaine. And he owns the hottest nightclub in Miami. She splits her time between LA and Miami. And when she's in Miami, the sister Marta lives with them. And we find out quickly that Marta and, oh my God, I should learn this. I think it's Roman. I'm just going to call him Roman. Marta and Roman do not like each other. They get annoyed with each other. They're constantly bickering like brother and sister. So she's always traveling. She likes living in Miami. During this photo shoot, there's this thing where Marta figures out, it's an editorial, not the cover. So Joanna's pissed, gets on the phone, and says, you don't have the right to these photos if it's not a cover. And I'm thinking, I don't know much about this stuff. And I mean, clearly she's got the experience here, but I thought that was all figured out beforehand. Like papers were signed and stuff and releases were signed. Maybe not, maybe it's afterwards, but I was just kind of surprised. I wondered if it was for the camera or for real, or what. So Joanna admits that she has a problem drinking when she goes out. She said, Polish vodka, hello. So that definitely becomes a factor. I remember that from this season, and I believe next season as well. She says that Miami has old power players, and there's new Miami, so move over. I think her fiance is so good looking. I remember that they have a volatile relationship and sex is a big issue, but very good looking guy. Okay, so we go over to Adriana's house. She is sitting outside and Frederick comes over to see her. So they're now engaged. They're living together. They're not yet married. She reminds us that art is her passion. Remember, she is an art dealer. He says, I want to show you your new life on the water. I forgot about the storyline, you guys. So he bought a boat. He calls it's an antique yacht, and he has decided he's going to refit it. So she explains one day out of the blue, he tells her that I bought a yacht. And he says it's going to be their new home. And I'm just thinking, how does that work? Like, cool. If you have the money, buy a yacht, enjoy it, have fun with it, spend a week on the water, whatever. But how do you pick up your whole life and decide, no, we're just going to live on the yacht now. This is a thing. Oh my gosh. I'm sure it'll be beautiful when they're done. I just remember this is a huge source of tension for them, as it would be for me too. He says, don't freak out. It's a work in progress. Once it's finished, it will be to die for. So she walks around. She says she feels like she's in the slums of Rio or something. And she explains that she has 2 requirements to live on this yacht. A space for her baby grand piano. She said she has to have that. And she has to have a walk-in closet. And I'm just thinking, like, I get it. If this is your home, you want certain things. But how's that going to work? A baby grand on a yacht? Weight-wise and size-wise, it just seems a little nuts. But cool. I mean, he agrees, so she's putting her trust in him, hoping for the best, and she says she's going to have an anxiety attack over it. Then we go over to Marisol. She goes to see Elsa, they're putting up posters to find Napoleon. And Marisol explains he's usually missing once a week, but this time it's been over 24 hours, so they are worried. Well, she's talking to Elsa, and all of a sudden, who runs up? It's Napoleon. And Mama's like, oh yeah, all this time he was in the closet. So then Elsa says, I think he was trying to commit suicide. Oh my gosh. So she's saying that she needs to get the anxiety out of her system. And then she asks, what's happening with Philippe? And Marisol has to remind her, we separated a few weeks ago. He's moved out. And Mom is saying she wants her to get divorced. And Marisol's like, but I still love him. She's very upset. So she ends up excusing herself. going into the bathroom because she just can't talk about this right now. And Mama Elsa explains she's just letting some steam out. This housekeeper comes and sits with Mama Elsa and starts singing to her. And we see this sweet relationship where they're holding hands and she's singing, and Elsa seems to relax into it and thanks her for the song. We go over to Lea, who's talking to Adriana, and they talk about the Star Island house. Adriana says that a friend of hers bought the house on Star Island, and they figure out, oh, it's the house down the street. It's Lisa. Adriana apparently has known her for years. She said they run into each other at social functions quite a bit and when they're shopping. She tells Lea about the plastic surgeon thing, that Lisa's married to that plastic surgeon Lenny and that he's a boob god. Lea says that at least sounds like Lisa is not her type of girl because Lisa's a shopper and Lea just likes to get down to work. Remember how I said I go hot and cold with these ladies? This kind of turned me off on Lea. We do see that she's repeatedly rude to Lisa. It's coming up. We'll see it. But I don't know. It's kind of surprising because Lea seems to welcome all, I thought, to the group, especially with her galas and stuff. But we'll see it. It's just kind of a weird rivalry. So then we go over to Anna and Robert, who the plot thickens. They're the ones, remember, they're separated. They're not quite divorced yet, but they're both attorneys, and they work together. They actually have a law office together. She wants to move the office to Coral Gables, and she's explained to him, you're an amazing lawyer, but you're a terrible business person, because he doesn't want to move. He likes helping certain clientele, and he says they won't feel comfortable in Coral Gables. Coral Gables. She says she doesn't think she can stay in this area anymore, and he says, don't worry, we'll figure it out. So they're trying to make things work. Okay, so from here we go into, there's a limo, okay? We see Mama Elsa sitting up front. It's Marisol, Anna, and Alexia in the car. And Alexia, so I guess she's considered a friend of the season. I remember she's, of course, in some of the scenes, but it's so tragic. So remember, she has 2 sons, and her youngest, Frankie, she hasn't gone out in about 6 months or so because he got into such a terrible, horrible car accident. And so we see her break down here saying it's a blessing for him to even be there. He's in a horrible car accident and almost died, and she hasn't left his side because of that. And we'll find out more going forward about that, but so heartbreaking. Thank goodness he's okay. Lisa, Marta, and Joanna are in a car together. We find out that Lisa and Joanna have been friends for a very long time. So they all arrive, okay? And I believe this is a food and wine festival. And so everybody arrives, and when they arrive in the limo, this is so funny. The ladies get out, and they forget that Mama Elsa's in the front seat. So they actually walked right past her. They have to turn back around to get Elsa out of the front seat. So the group is meeting up at this food and wine festival, and we see that Lea arrives. Marisol says this is the first time she's seeing Lea since last year's gala. Okay. So this is interesting because we haven't seen this before, but Marisol and Lea are actually feuding. Marisol says they had a disagreement and she won't work the red carpet again, and that was it. Lea doesn't really address that, but she throws some weird dig. She said, apparently Adriana brought my new, quote, neighbor. And what's weird is, so they go to meet, and it's the first time they're meeting, brand new neighbors, right? And Lisa is saying, like, hi, it's nice to meet you. And Lea at first turns her attention to her, but then in the middle of talking just switches and gives focus to Mama Elsa. It was rude. It was weird. She's very short with Lisa. And that on top of my quote neighbor and, judging her so hard before even meeting her kind of sucks. I actually felt for Lisa in that moment because, see, Leah's laying on thick with Mama Elsa, which I understand she knows her, but there's no need for that. And Lisa seemed very turned off. She said, I met Lea, but I don't feel like she's trying to be nice. I don't know her reasoning. Hello, class, Lea Lea says, I meet Lisa. She's throwing back a couple of shots, and she's grabbing Joanna. So it's just weird interaction there. Okay. So then we see Karent and Rodolfo arrive. No, thank you. Anna says, Karent walks in with Rodolfo, and I want to use quotations with that title of boyfriend. So it sounds like, so she says, I know who he was because he's friends with Alexia for a long time. And when the son got into a wreck, Anna was there to visit with Alexia a lot. That's how she and Rodolfo met. He ended up asking her for her phone number. So they started texting. And she said, that he was texting her a whole bunch and it became more than just a friendship. So Karent says, what I know is they saw each other at multiple events. She was flirting with him. I've seen text messages from her. I may not have met you before, but I know who you are. So, okay, they're back and forth, right? And it's just kind of ridiculous, first of all, to fight over this cheese ball. Second of all, Karent is so turning a blind eye to this. It's so strange. So even if Anna is embellishing the relationship, which I don't think she is, how would she get Rodolfo's phone number? Like they had to change phone numbers, exchange phone numbers at some point. So that should tell you right there, oh, he's given out his number. So I just think it's weird that she's putting all her blame on Anna and not looking at her boyfriend. And he just seems like a slimy, I don't know. Okay, meanwhile, Mama Elsa gets overheated and she ends up passing out. So, of course, they freak out. They call 911. She's fine, luckily, thank goodness. But it sounds like she got overheated. She didn't have enough. She was dehydrated, unfortunately. So that's how the episode ends. We do see a flash of what's to expect this season. We see that they get to go to the Bahamas. There's a lot of new money versus old money talk. Alexia and her son, we see more of that storyline there. It's a lot of Lea versus Marisol, which I forgot was so juicy. I totally forgot about that storyline. RHOM and some cheating rumors there. We see some Anna and Robert issues going on. We see Lisa having a big blowout with Lenny. Karent versus Anna. Alexia versus Karent. So Karent is mixing it up. And then we see Adriana versus Joanna. And again, this one I didn't remember. Remember that was a lingerie party or something, and Joanna's kind of following after Adriana, and Adriana just turns around and does she smack the crap out of her, or she punches her? I can't remember. She does something to her, but it's not good. So, such a good season, you guys. I'm so excited to be talking about it. I'm excited to be jumping into this. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So much fun to relive all this stuff and go back over it. I mentioned before, I heard on a podcast with Alexia that they are potentially talking about bringing back Miami, like maybe to, I think she said the Peacock Network directly. I can't remember. But yeah, so maybe we'll get our wish and maybe it'll come back. I'm totally here for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I have all kinds of recaps going up right now, so check those out as well. I hope you guys stay healthy, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you for everything. Take care. Bye-bye.